Predstate seba, v detství my vis sidem I mektam observativasa putsestvia vo viziros luzizan. Sooner or later, we'll make the move into our own personal space, save enough to fulfill all our cherished dreams. Except, as soon as the adult reality sets in, it is discovered that the delayed life syndrome trips us up. This syndrome begins its influence in very early childhood, when we, small and naive, consider growing up to be our only global dream. Because as adults, we expect to be able to decide when to go to bed, how much time to spend playing video games, and generally be in charge of our own lives. It seems like an admirable goal, but what if it becomes not just a nice bonus, but a real, absolutely consuming mission? When we immerse ourselves in dreams of the future, we often lose sight of the present, missing those moments of joy and fulfillment that are available to us right now. And that's where the postponed life syndrome comes in, preventing us from enjoying our current childhood in the present moment. Don't forget that life is not only about the future, but also about today. Let's learn to appreciate every moment, not expecting something ahead, but creating our happiness right now. After all, who knows what may happen tomorrow? It's time to say goodbye to the postponed life syndrome and start appreciating every moment in this exciting journey. Here comes adulthood with its pleasant sides. We now have the freedom and ability to make our own decisions. But along with these perks came its own worries: earning money, taking care of our physical condition, cooking, maintaining relationships, and so on. All of these aspects require our attention and effort. When the reality of adulthood turns out to be different from what we envisioned as children, we begin to form new goals. For example, we say, now I will work at this temporary job to gain experience and earn money. Then I can pursue my dream job and enjoy every moment. This seems like another stage of the deferred life syndrome. Okay, that may be true. However, it is important not to lose sight of the value of the present moment. Perhaps it is in the process of self-development and achieving our goals that we can find fulfillment. Why not enjoy every step along the way toward your goal, instead of putting off happiness for later? Perhaps it is in the here and now that we will discover the true enjoyment of adulthood. Deferred life syndrome is not a disease, but a particular way of thinking in which a person tends to prepare in advance for the life ahead. However, herein lies a certain problem. True existence never comes for a person with this syndrome. Always ahead glimmers some bright horizon that promises a radical improvement of his existence. The current reality is perceived merely as a preparation for the present, which is constantly postponed for the future. The term, postponed life syndrome, first appeared relatively recently, in 1997. Konekno, samo avlini sustvovalo I rance, no ego izusini proizaslo otnositelno nedavno vhod izasenia sahologi zeitlej severnai regionov. These people, having risked their stale ideas of career development for years, stood out with a peculiar difference from the usual stressful state. The essence of the difference is that in stress there is a generalized scheme of want cannot, while in the syndrome of postponed life a person may want, may have opportunities, but does not give himself permission to do so. The first mention of the syndrome can be found in the writer Jane Austen, who described the life of an Englishman who was living in a colony and waiting to return to England to start a real life. Where does this problem come from? There is, of course, a theory that, as is common from childhood, the syndrome can develop if a parent instills in a child the belief that love, joy, happiness, and other positive feelings must necessarily be earned by doing something extremely meaningful. As a result, the person loses the ability to enjoy the present moment, even if they already have accomplishments. It will always seem that it is not enough, and you need to do more, and more, and more. Until you achieve some chosen goals, you supposedly have no right to be content, happy, and love yourself unconditionally. The main problem is that this moment of real life that one strives for never comes. We will always find something that gets in the way of the perfect picture in our head. Even though you may be in an unloved job right now and believe that moving on to your favorite job will bring complete freedom from all difficulties, the reality may turn out to be different. While doing what you truly love, there may be moments of exhaustion, a crisis of creativity, or simply fatigue from routine. In these moments, there can be a feeling that you have not yet reached your ideal point in life. This plays out very well in the context of finances. Many people are convinced that with an increase in earnings they will be able to afford everything they dreamed of. However, as income increases, so do the demands on your standard of living. It is like an endless race where victory proves unattainable. Postponed life syndrome makes us underestimate the present moment, because everything we have now becomes a matter of course. Even a few years ago, we dreamed of what we currently have. If your parents were demanding in your childhood, you may be familiar with the following scene. You passed the test on good. Nothing to be happy about. You need excellent. You got an excellent. It's not a victory yet, and it's nothing special. You got first place in the academic Olympiad. You didn't win the world championship, so it doesn't count. Thus, all of the child's efforts are devalued, and this dynamic carries over into adulthood. You can achieve significant successes, but the voice from childhood will always remind you that there is nothing special here. How to defeat this destructive attitude? It is best to turn to a psychotherapist. Together with a specialist, you can try to change the deep-seated attitudes that support this negative inner voice. Psychotherapy can help to recognize and revise these beliefs, opening the way to a healthier and more positive view of one's accomplishments in life. Let's turn our attention to what you can do when you are alone. An important first step is to learn to just be present. Forget all your thoughts, your worries, just stay in the moment. Let's do this exercise right now. What sensations do you feel in your body? How comfortable are you sitting or standing? Are you able to note the difference in weight between your left and right hand? Can you smell any odors around you? What do you see around you? And what do you hear? These questions about current feelings will help you to come back to the present moment. These exercises can be useful for reducing anxiety, especially in those moments when you realize you are preoccupied with thoughts of the future. Practicing being present in the present moment promotes focus on the here and now, preventing you from drifting off into anxious ruminations about the future. Here's another handy life hack for dealing with anxiety about the future. Pose 2 important questions to yourself. 1. Can I take steps now to achieve my primary goal? 2. Do I have the energy to do so? If your answer to either of these questions is no, shift your focus to the present moment and enjoy what you already have. Remember that a happy future cannot be accelerated. Second tip, stop tolerating. Focus on what it is in your life that causes discomfort. This can be both serious problems and minor annoyances, such as inconvenient infrastructure in the neighborhood or harsh remarks from colleagues. Write it all down in a list and next to each item describe what you will do to stop tolerating it. This method will help you respect yourself and your feelings. And finally, the third life hack, make yourself happy with small pleasures. Happiness does not require an excuse. You can allow yourself to enjoy the moment now. Allow yourself to see a movie, enjoy your favorite dessert, or buy a sweater you like without a good reason. It's important to take advantage of what gives you pleasure without putting it off for the future. For example, if you bought a new sweater, wear it as if it were another pleasure in your life. Zapisovajta każdy svoj progress. Net nisko plohago v tom, sitabi imet svoj mekti I globalnie cheli. It's important to break them down into small steps. When you achieve something on your list, celebrate for yourself. Celebrate each of your accomplishments, even the smallest steps. Remember that they all matter. Don't forget that rest is a necessity. Sometimes it's important to take a step back, relax, and fully enjoy the moment. Rest helps you stay balanced and efficient. Look for support in your environment. Get rid of those who drag you down. If your family or friends don't believe in your efforts, question your dreams. Limit contact with such people. Your success requires positive support. Don't forget the phrase, live in the now. Recognizing the presence of the postponed life syndrome is the first step to improvement. Let this be the impetus for your personal growth. Seize the moment and remember that life is a journey, a process, not a computer game with a clear path to victory.